Good morning and welcome you all to the Q4 conference call. Before we get into the interactive section, which I and my colleagues will try to answer your questions to the best of our ability, let me mention and take you through to a few performance numbers. As expected and as mentioned during last quarter con call, the numbers are significantly down this time, and because the price trend and the price volatility was known when we talked last time. In any case, the sales figure for this quarter is 430 crores as against 579 crores of corresponding quarter. Similarly, the PBT figure is 16 crores as against 255 crores for corresponding quarter, and the profit after tax is 5 crores as against 174 crores for corresponding quarter. Let me mention here that the annual sales figure is 1,700 crores, which is an all-time record. But in spite of that, the quarterly numbers, the profitability numbers are significantly down. The production, the performance, the operational numbers, the production is for the quarter is 61,000 tons of ferrochrome, which is higher than the budgeted targeted production. And the annual figure, production figure is also very good, which is 235,000 tons. The sales figure is 239,000 tons, which is again an all-time record. So as mentioned, in spite of a very good set of operational numbers, the financial numbers are significantly down from before, which was expected because mainly because of the price, the tremendous severe price volatility that we know was coming up, and for example, the realization per ton of ferrochrome in this quarter is about 40,000 rupees less than the same for the corresponding quarter. And the costs have also moved up. The normal cost pressures are coming from our procurement of coke, metallurgical coke, which we import, and there is upward movement in the coal prices, auction coal prices, and the electricity duty also has gone up. So these are in broad, these are the numbers and the indicators. So now I open the session for your questions, and which we'll try to answer to the best of our ability.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. The first question is from the line of Salil Utagi from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So my question is regarding our realization. So basically we are discount, I believe that contracts are signed at discount to the benchmark prices. So how much is the normal discount, and has it increased over the years, last 2-3 years?
Yes. The contract prices are at a significant discount to the benchmark prices, which has an increasing trend over the years. But as I can see from the chart in front of me, it is almost in the range of discount from benchmark is in the range of 30 to 35%. Sometimes it has touched 43%. The benchmark gives an indication of the price movement, but doesn't exactly give the specific contractual prices. But that gives the market trend and the market sentiment. So for the corresponding quarter, for the quarter under question, the discounts were in the range of from benchmark in the range of about 27-28%. So
means what the price we have to consider is at 60% content, right? 60% APCR if you assume. Basically, if we convert just 1.18 into rupees per ton, then it is up to 1,43,000, right? And then I think we have to assign a 60% purity for ferrochrome. Is that the right way to calculate?
No, that is not exactly the right way. For example, the benchmark for Q4 the January-March quarter was 126 cents. Okay, whereas the contractual price was much less, in the range of 85 cents.
Right.
Okay, so what matters for us is 85 cents, which is a 30% discount on 32% or 33% discount on the benchmark. And thereafter, depending on the chrome content, you are right, the standard ferrochrome is 60% chromium, so you have to take 600 kg of chromium, but that also depends on the exchange rate prevailing at the point of, because traditionally and historically, ferrochrome is denominated always in dollars and cents. So the exchange rate to dollar also matters. Deepak, today, if you want, Deepak Mahanti will answer that. If you want to today give a thumb rule for cents converted to rupees, what would that be? 850 rupees?
Yeah, no, around 890 rupees.
Okay.
Basically, 1 ton is 1322.77 pounds, and chrome is traded on, basically, prices on pound of chromium. So, if depending upon 60% or 58%, whatever is the thing, actual chromium, based on that, it's being calculated. And thumb rule with the 68 around the exchange rate, it's around 898 per pound of per US cents.
Exchange rate of 67.
68. And
68.
Okay.
Okay.
At 68 rupees, basically 898 per kg.
Yeah, yeah. Not per kg, per cent. If it is 85 cents, then 890 into 85, whatever, 76.
That gives you the price in rupees.
Yeah. Per ton of chromium, per ton of ferrochrome.
Okay.
And as the exchange rate comes down, of course, the 890 rupees number
goes down
comes down
accordingly.
Okay. And sir, I believe at the start of April, the benchmark prices have been revised upwards from 1.26. It has been revised upwards by 20%.
Yeah, it has gone up to 150 cents. 126 has been revised upward to 150 cents, and hence the contract prices also have moved in tandem. And
the increase will be the same for this quarter?
No, we can't exactly know what the increase will be till the quarter ends, but it will move up. It will move up in, similarly. Exactly, we can't know.
Yeah. And sir, coming down to EBITDA per ton, I believe that your maximum cost would have been around 55,000 rupees per ton, considering the coking coal cost at that time. So it has, I think, it has come at 59,000 this quarter. The cost. So EBITDA has come down below 11,000. So what is the reason in increase in cost during the quarter? Can you quantify that? Yeah.
Yeah, the increase in cost this quarter is in the range of about 5,000 rupees, and quarter on quarter is in the range of 5,000 rupees, which basically has come by way of some increase in cost of coke and some increase in cost of coal and electricity duty, because the corresponding quarter last year, the electricity duty was about 30 paisa, which is now 55 paisa. So that's clearly 25 paisa into 4,000 units if you consume per ton of ferrochrome. It's about 1,000 rupees impact straight there. So that all adds up to 5,000 rupees, whereas the annual cost increase is more, much more, 7,000 to 8,000 rupees.
Okay. So would it be at this level for FY19 or would it come down?
You see, some costs move along with the market sentiment. If the market is good, some costs have a trend to move up. Like coke prices have always gone up when the stainless steel market is good and correspondingly ferrochrome market is good. So part of it moves with the market. We don't expect another upward revision in electricity duty so quickly because it was a very quantum increase which happened last year. But the more important thing to note here is price volatility is much more deciding than anything else.
Okay. So basically, right now, you think that the cap on the cost will be maximum 59,000 rupees per ton, in that range?
We hope so. It will be thereabouts.
Okay. And sir, last question on the agitation and which led to the plant closures. So is there a production loss that you have factored in that 18-19 days agitation?
Yes, there is a production loss we have factored in. In fact, our annual production budget is also being revised accordingly. Deepak, can you please give the numbers?
Yeah, for this quarter, in fact, we had planned budget of 59,000, but we are bringing it down to 49,000 because of this shutdown as well as thereafter restarting and other things. And for the annual, for that matter, from 239,000 what we have budgeted, we are bringing it down to 223,000.
So revising it down by 16,000 tons for the year.
For the year, and for this quarter, 10,000 less than the budget.
Okay. So that is factoring in the damage which has happened to the furnace.
Yeah, everything.
And so would we get the insurance on both these production losses or only on the furnace damage?
We have initiated the process, and we this is not an insurance claim that we do every day. So we have initiated the process. This is, I think, this is the first time, I think. Prem, would you answer that, please?
Yeah, this is the first time we are doing it. Right. And at the moment, it is very difficult to ascertain anything because we have just started the process. So it will take some time. Then we'll come to know how much coverage we'll be getting.
Okay. Sir. Thanks a lot.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management is able to address questions from all participants in the conference, please limit your questions to only 2 per participant. The next question is from the line of Parthiv Jonsa from NVA's brokerage. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So I just want to know the prices of the ferro, how it moves basically. What has been the prices in FY17 and what do you expect going forward?
Well, this has been a very interesting question every time in conference call, and we have tried to give as accurate an answer as possible. The point is, we have resisted the temptation in forecasting prices for ferrochrome because we know it's not under our control and we don't really play any role in setting the price. As we have explained in the past, South Africa is by far the largest player in our industry. They produce about 50% of the global consumption in ferrochrome. So hence, they are the price setters. We just follow the price. And having said that, to have some predictability in our calculation, to have some, have some understanding of the market, what we look at is normally a rolling average of the price. So we normally look at the rolling average of 4 quarters of price, which is in the range of 82 to 85 cents. So it has to be a long-term forecast if you insist, and it will be in the range of 82 to 85 cents to the best of our analysis. And current price, this quarter's price, like I mentioned just a few minutes before, with the benchmark moving up from 126 cents to 150 cents, the contract prices have also moved up beyond $1. Exactly what average realization will hit, we'll know at the end of the quarter.
Okay, and that 150 cents odd cents would be for a pound, right?
Yes. 150 cents is always cents per pound of chromium.
Okay, and so how do you realize based on the, so basically when you mine, say, 1 ton and the concentration was of 60%, so we have to adjust accordingly?
Yeah, when concentration of 50%, what we refer to is actually chromium oxide. It's Cr2O3.
Okay.
Okay, so what we talk about here is a pound of chromium metal. So it's or if you are trying to know how many tons of ore give 1 ton of ferrochrome, it's about 2.5 tons of chrome ore of a concentrate of 48 to 50% of chromite give 1 ton of ferrochrome, which sells at whatever market price.
Okay, so basically the price which you just quoted is for the ferrochrome and not the ore.
Yeah, the price I quoted was for ferrochrome.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. The next question is from the line of Sanjay Kumar from Vision Investment. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, there have been...
excuse me, Mr. Sanjay Kumar, can you please speak closer to the phone? You're sounding distant.
There have been several issues regarding with the company, with the government and things like that. can you kindly elaborate what is the exact nature of claims against the company as on date?
The exact nature of?
Claims against the company, yeah. Whatever may be the issues, what is the nature of claims the company is facing?
Prem, do we list all the claims? We must be listing all the claims.
No, I don't know. It's very difficult to list out the nature of claims in that manner.
Are you referring to any particular claim, any claim on the mining front, or is that a general question?
No, in general, there are so many issues. So a minimum ballpark figure by which we can understand what are the exact, almost approximate amounts of claims against the company.
Prem, anything we have informed?
No, your question is not very clear, Sanjay. What kind of claim you are talking about?
Regarding mining or...
there is no claim against the company regarding mining or anything else. What kind of claim you are talking about? I'm not able to understand.
Is he asking about the excess production claim or something?
I don't know, sir. The question is not very clear. He's saying that there are several issues with the government and the list of the...
No, it's not issue with the government, actually.
Okay.
So I don't know what you can't understand your question. If you can specify it a little more, we'll be able to answer it.
Okay. And regarding your subsidiaries, what is the current, how was the performance of the subsidiaries?
No, there are no operational subsidiaries as of now.
Okay.
This is the main company.
Your international subsidiaries, are they functioning or because as per your reports, there are some losses, accumulated losses. So does the company have any clarifications regarding the same?
Prem?
There is one subsidiary, international subsidiary, which is holding that Indonesian coal block, which is under arbitration now. So there is no operation in that subsidiary also. Okay.
Is there any losses from that front which has to be adjusted or anything like that?
No, there are no losses ascertained at the moment. And we don't think there is going to be any loss from that subsidiary.
Okay, thanks, sir.
Right.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vikas Singh from B&K Securities. Please go ahead.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Sir, I just wanted to understand that if the benchmark pricing and contract pricing have so much of, difference, I understand that we want some volume protection, but why are we planning to change our mix so that we can have some benefit of the higher spot prices?
No, I'm not getting your question. Are you saying why the benchmark price is varying so much?
Sir, I am saying that we usually sell on the contractual basis.
Yeah.
Since the spot prices are higher, why are we thinking of changing our sales strategy to more towards...
No, got your question, sorry. So, no, actually nowadays there is not much difference between spot prices and long-term prices because all information is available to everybody. What a long-term price or a long-term contract or a long-term arrangement with a customer helps is there is by way of more assurance, by way of off-take tonnage. Prices are not much different. So by changing the mix of spot price and long-term price, I don't think we will gain anything. Rather, the predictability will come down. At least we have predictability about off-take now. So, yes, you are right. Earlier years, about 15, 20 years back, there was a perceptible, clear difference between spot price and benchmark price. So, in times of crisis, when the market went into shortage, somebody made a lot of money on the spot market, which somebody who's in a long-term contract probably missed out, but that no longer is the case. There is almost price parity between long-term and spot. So the assurance of offtake is a much bigger factor in our industry. So hence we are mostly tied up with long-term contracts or long-term arrangements.
Okay, sir. And sir, is it right to think that the coke cost, which would be the highest in this quarter, and now going forward the coal would be more or less stable, and then coke cost would be on a declining trend?
Deepak, will you please give a picture of the coke price movement, and thereafter Mr. Bijanand Mahapatra, if we can give a picture of the coal price trend.
Yeah, regarding coke, actually it's still moving up and up. It went up to so low as 220 or so, but it has already moved to 350 plus.
$220 landed to $350 landed, in India.
$50 landed, and there is no sign that because of the stainless steel also requires coke and all, which is doing well. So there is no chance that it is going to come down in near future unless something happens very drastically. So I think
in view of the stable growth of stainless steel.
Yeah.
And sir, this Odisha government's demand of almost 120 crore of penalty in terms of excess mining in Sukhinda.
Yeah.
So what we have seen in the iron ore cases that most of the people had ended up paying penalty a much lower than what the original was demanded.
Yeah.
So what is the take on that? What could be the reasonable amount which, in case if we have to pay, would be? Have we done any internal assessment or have taken the legal opinion regarding the same?
Yeah, the matter is being dealt with legally right now, and Sanjeev Das, our mining BU head, will give you a little more detail on that.
In fact, there is an excess demand on the company, but we have moved the revision tribunal, which is a recourse available to us under the mining law, and the revision tribunal has stayed the demand. And if you're talking of the demand possibility in comparison to other like iron ore and manganese, in fact, the government of Odisha has demanded based on EC violation, the environmental clearance violations alone. And that is the strategy they have taken. So in any case, it has gone to revision tribunal, which is stayed.
Revision authority.
Yeah.
And it has been stayed for all chrome miners.
For all our demand.
For all chrome miners from Odisha.
Yes.
Yeah. Not only for us, for all chrome miners. For us.
So do we have the figure that how much is the original penalty and how much is the, the interest usually they charge on, because the case pertains to a, very long period and past. So the interest or the charge on the penalty would have been much higher than the actual penalty. Do we have the numbers?
No, there is no provision for interest on this penalty. It is all following the Supreme Court judgment. And there was a certain deadline for the particular demands that were made for iron and manganese. No such deadlines have been fixed for chromite ore, and therefore no interest on that particular case. In any case, the deadline of interest payments ended with 31st December 2017 for iron and manganese.
Nothing for chrome ore.
Nothing for chrome ore.
Okay. And so just one last question. We were thinking of, increasing our mining capacity. There was a phases plan where we would increase the Mahagiri, then Sukhinda. So any thought on that? Where are we in terms of taking the EC clearances and increasing our mining and ultimately the metal capacity?
The expansion plans are at a preliminary stage for the mining output, because that has to be preceded by some elaborate drilling and ore forecasting, ore prediction, because the quality of ore will decide in which manner, whether underground or open cast, in which mines will expand our ore raging. So right now we are at 6.5 lakh tons permission level, and any further expansion is at a preliminary stage right now.
And so what is the total net debt right now at the end of FY18?
Total net debt is 642 crore long term. Working capital is 193 crore.
And current maturity?
Current maturity of long term?
Yes.
That will be around 120 crore.
Okay, sir. That's all from my side. Thanks for taking my question.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Vinod Malviya from Florin Tree Advisors. Please go ahead.
Yeah, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
My first question was regarding, the realization. Now, you said your realization for the quarter was 85 cents per pound, right?
Yes.
In the Q4. So if I do a just back calculation using a 60% ferro content, I get a realization of something like 73,000 rupees a ton.
No, realization for quarter is, for this quarter is about 71,000 rupees, yes.
Sorry, 71,000 rupees.
Deepak, is that correct?
Yeah.
No, but the number reported, if I take the sales and divide by the volume sales, I get something like 69,000 rupees per ton.
Okay.
Okay. The prime product.
Okay. What the price I gave you was for the prime product, and there is about 7 to 8%, small percentage of substandard products. So if you might be getting the number, which is a weighted average number. So it's in that range only, 69,000-70,000 rupees.
Okay, but was it like, because almost 75 to 80% generally is tied in the long term and only 20-25% use sale under the short term arrangement or the spot market. So was the spot market very volatile, or the spot market price were very low? That's why the overall realization was has fallen to almost like 69,000 in the quarter.
Deepak, will you answer that, please?
Yeah. Actually, let's talk about the prime product, where our realization has been around 71,000. In fact, the spot prices were higher than the long-term price in that particular last quarter, because the last quarter price was for long-term was fixed prior to the quarter when it was very bad, not better than the other spot price was lower, and as well, that's the reason the long-term price also was lower. But thereafter, little bit picked up the spot market, so we encashed whatever that could be possible. Otherwise, the realization for the prime would have been lower than 70,000 even. So because we encashed that 25% around from the spot market at a higher price than 85, we could get it. Even that point in time, your exchange rate was lower. It was maybe 64 or something in that range. And with all those impacts, so it was lower. But also, as we have discussed several times, if we lose out in one quarter, overall average over a period, long term as well as the spot remains almost same nowadays, for your information.
So let me put it in a very simple way. For, let's say, Q4 FY18, what would have been your spot prices realization and the long-term arrangement realization? So you can split this 69,000 between that.
If you talk with respect to cents, then if basically 4 to 5 cents more realization in the spot than the long-term. But particularly in this quarter, the things are again negative. Long-term is higher, but spot is much lower.
So he's asking about Q4, Deepak. So if probably it's a hypothetical question, if everything was sold on spot, if that is your question, if everything was sold in spot, would your realization been higher or lower? Is that the question?
No. My question is very simple. Your blended realization for Q4 FY18 has come at 69,000. Can you break this number between what is your long-term realization and what is your spot realization?
That is what we are trying to explain. The long-term realization for this quarter, we don't have a ready breakup here. Would you have a ready breakup, Deepak, long-term realization and spot realization for Q4 2000 FY18? No, we don't have.
No.
So it would be very marginal. Actually, what happens is the spot price at the beginning of the quarter or just before the beginning of the quarter decides the long-term price. Okay?
Yeah.
And then the spot price from there on can move up or move down.
Right.
In the process, the spot price might be a little higher or a little lower. But if you take it, but what Deepak Mandi was trying to explain, that supposing the spot price has moved up during the quarter and we have already finalized a long-term price, the benefit of that spot price moving up comes to us in the next quarter when the spot price might actually be coming down. So it doesn't really matter in one over few quarters if you take it that way.
Understood. Okay. Just related to question is, we already halfway through for the Q1 FY19. So can you provide some more clarity, like what is the contracted price for the under the long-term arrangement for Q1 FY19 now? Because already like 1.5 months has passed by.
Yeah, but we'll know the exact price realization at the end of the quarter only. And at that point, we'll be in a better position to share the number. But it's very clear since the benchmark has moved up by 24 cents, the long-term contract price also will move up. And to clearly beyond about $1.
Okay. The second question was on the cost front. You said the electricity duty has gone up. So now, if I remember, your cost of production power per unit was around 4.5 rupees. So now with the, Coal India increasing the coal prices and the electricity duty coming in, what would be your per unit cost of production for power?
Bijanand, can you please give some numbers on the variable cost of power?
The variable cost of the power last year it was around 3 rupees 51 paisa. This quarter it has gone up to 4 rupees 17 paisa. And this basically increase of two parts. One is electricity duty. There's an increase of around 29 paisa for net generation. And the coal price has moved up by 400 rupees per ton in all style of coal, like spot. Previously it was around 3,050, now it is 3,500. Linkage also coal India has increased price. So previously landed cost was around 2,500, now it is 2,900. And another part is washer reject, whereas after the implication of GST, they have increased that green cess. That 400 rupees they also now charging on the washer rejects. So almost all type of coals has increased 400 rupees. So that's why this is an increase in the variable cost. Coming forward, coal price will remain in this city.
Yeah. Right. So this 4
Mr. Vinod Malviya, may we request you that you return to the question queue for follow-up questions, as we have several participants waiting for their turn. Ladies and gentlemen, in order to ensure that the management is able to address questions from all participants in the conference, please limit your questions to only 2 per participant. The next question is from the line of Naveen Shetty from Pantomath. Please go ahead.
So, good morning, sir, and thank you for taking the question. Just wanted to understand a most industry-specific question. Basically, I wanted to understand in terms of stainless steel, what is the breakup for the long product and the flat products? What is the total breakup, and what is the pricing of stainless steel in terms of the outlook, if you can just give, given the price that the coal prices have moved up?
Deepak, what information we have about stainless steel?
No,
I think overall stainless steel market information we are more familiar with. But Deepak, can you please share?
No, actually I don't have the long product and flat product breakup and all at this juncture. But if I talk about the stainless steel, how it is moving, global stainless steel output in the calendar year 2017 was 48.08 million, which has gone up by 5.8%, while the predictions were 3%. And and Chinese is always more than 50%, around 27-28 million tons out of that. And even for this particular year, 2018 calendar year, the growth is expected at 3 to 4%, which means stainless steel output will touch again 50 million, which will be a new high again. Okay?
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Chintan Mehta from Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. Hello. Good morning. Sir, I have 2 questions. First, regarding
balance sheet and cash flows, we have generated 450 crores of EBITDA, and if you deduct that 100 crore of tax and 75 crore of interest, we have something around 275 crores of cash what we have generated. When I see a balance sheet, we have a net a gross debt reduction of only 100 crores, and there is no major capex per se, and plus your working capital also seems to be like inventories have increased and simultaneously your trade payables have increased. So net of we have a stable working capital. So I want to understand, sir, that when the remaining cash flows of around 150 odd crores, where would it be invested, sir?
Prem, would you please...
Chintan, if you have noticed, we have declared a dividend of 150% this year.
Right.
So that will consume around 50 crore.
Right.
And the balance is lying in mutual funds. So as you know, we have a excess mining demand also.
Right.
So we are keeping this money to meet any exigencies.
So, but where do I find that?
Gentlemen, I need to just interrupt everybody. I just got information that our chairman is no more. So I need to leave my table and go to the residence. You can please continue. Prem, please conduct the meeting.
Okay. Hello? Yeah.
Yes,
sir, but we are seeing a reduction in your investments. When I say investment, financial investments, I see around 147 crores, and, that has actually came down year on year. So where actually we have parked the money? Where do I find that amount, sir, in balance sheet, sir?
Reduction in investments?
Yeah, if you see financial assets, we have investments. Where the amount standing is 147.86 crore versus 161 crores in consol basis. So in fact, we are seeing a bit of reduction in that investments part as well. So I'm not able to understand.
Because we are drawing money from mutual funds, which are part of investments. So whenever that money is utilized, so naturally the investments will go down.
Right.
So because we have declared interim dividend in the month of January.
Okay.
So some amount might have gone from there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in coming years, say if we generate similar kind of a cash flow, and we and suppose the penalty of Odisha comes in, we say it the way the amount is, so if we can expect a lesser dividend, that could be the possibility, right, sir? What I'm trying to say is that, are we going to see any kind of a debt reduction from here on? The bottom line, if I want to ask it.
Yeah, if we are left with the cash with nothing to do, then obviously it will go towards the repayment of debt.
Yeah, but what your estimate? You might have prepared certain kind of estimate.
Very, very difficult to give any estimate, Chintan, because the kind of volatility we are seeing in the market.
Okay.
It's very difficult to predict any cash flow and plan on that.
Right. So at this point of time, it will be safer to assume that so no debt reduction, at the same time, any kind of acquisitions also will be pulled to a halt considering the market conditions. If you're looking at any kind of factor and all that.
It all depends on the market condition, and as far as expansion is concerned, we have to come up with one more furnace in line with our more production.
Okay.
So that will continue.
That will continue. Okay. That's it. Thanks from my side.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Hardik Vora from Union Mutual Fund. Please go ahead.
Hi, thank you for the opportunity. So earlier in our discussion, you had indicated that, at a sweet spot of 85 cents, the company could make about 20,000 rupees per ton of EBITDA. With the increase in cost that we've seen, and if they remain where they are, what would be the EBITDA at that sweet spot price? EBITDA per ton.
You see, at this cost, today the cost is around 58,000 rupees, 59,000 rupees. So depending on the exchange rate, you can work out the EBITDA margin. And going forward also, the cost is likely to be here more or less at these levels. So it is the factor of exchange rate and the price.
That comes to around 11 to 12,000 rupees per ton on EBITDA.
Yeah.
Okay. Just a clarification, for putting up one more furnace, what will be the capex required?
No, it all depends on what kind of whether it is greenfield or brownfield. So and what capacity we are going to put up. So it depends on a lot of factors. So giving any ballpark figure would be difficult, Hardik.
But anything in sight for the next 1 or 2 years, or you'll wait?
We are looking at a lot of NCLT assets. So as and when anything comes up, we'll try to bid for that.
Okay, one final question. This excess mining, how much is the claim on that? If you could just clarify on the call.
That we have given a declaration to the stock exchange also, 122 crore.
Sure, I just wanted to check. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. The next question is a follow-up from the line of Sali Utagi from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Yes, sir, just on the realization part, if I assume 85 cents and you have said 890, we should multiply by that. So the realization should be 76,000, right? And not
but one thing, but that particular quarter, the rupee exchange rate was 64, not at this level 68. That was one major factor, and otherwise another factor also, the exact chromium content, it may not be 60%, maybe 58%, somewhere 59 or 60. So that's the reason why the actual realization figure is a little bit lower. Particularly in that quarter, our chromium was little less than 60.
I'm asking about this quarter, means current quarter. It should be, as benchmark prices have been revised upwards by 20%. So last quarter only our realization was 69,000.
Yeah.
So then this quarter it won't be 70,000. It should be at least more than 75,000.
Yes. No, this quarter, Salil, we have already intimated that this quarter price will come to know at the end of the quarter only, because there will be spot sales also. So, but it should be more than last quarter. But the final figures will come to know at the end of the quarter only.
Yeah. And sir, at the start of this quarter, we observed that benchmark prices have been revised upward by 20%, but spot prices were under pressure. They have corrected by 5 to 7%. So why is the difference?
Can I answer? Yeah. Actually, you see, we have two systems. One is benchmark linked and other is the spot price, which is the Chinese price, who are the major consumer. And particularly for Chinese, you know, the chromo stock, which used to be in the range of 2 million tons, have gone up beyond 3 million from last early April and March. So that has brought down the chromo prices from 250 level to 180, 190 cents. So for which the bow steel price for the ferrochrome, which is the benchmark kind of thing in China, for the month of May, it has come down to 82.5. So that is the reason why the prices have come down. But things are changing slowly at the moment. In fact, also another reason was real buying was not there. Particularly in China, from January to April, they plan it in the month of November, December, after which they come into the market. So real buying by the stainless steel mills, that has started. For that reason, the prices have started moving up around 84 cents to 85 cents. And I believe between 85 to 90, it will remain, mostly it will remain, and which is sustainable.
Okay. But otherwise, if spot prices remain at even 84, 85 levels, then probably benchmark will be revised downwards next quarter?
That can happen also. Nobody can tell. But, you know, benchmark particularly helps European people more because they have a surcharge system linked to benchmark.
Right.
So that is the reason why, but nothing can be talked about at this juncture. Suppose by then the Chinese price goes up, probably it will not go down.
Okay. Right. Yeah, and sir, regarding this Packer alloys in NCLT, what is the status now of the basically order?
The next date is 6th of June, Salil.
Okay.
So we will come to know on that date.
Okay. And sir, can you just give overview of how is the production in South Africa of ferrochrome? Is it moving up or
Deepak?
How are the
So basically, lot of consultation has already taken place. In fact, at this juncture, it is remaining at the same level, and the operations which are going on, it's more or less stable over last 6 months. And broadly, 3-4 major players like Samancor, Glencore, and Traxys, they have, and Harnick, to some extent, and mergers and acquisitions are taking place. But effectively, operation at similar level, which is for the annual figure of something like around 3.5 million tons out of total 11 million tons from South Africa. It's more or less consistent.
Okay. Last question, can you just tell me what is the exact cash and investment on the books as of now?
Total cash and investments is 172 crore at the end of fourth quarter.
And so other income has come down this quarter. So what is the reason behind that? That
is basically because of the exchange fluctuation, because the dollar has gone up. So we had to provide for mark-to-market losses on our forex exposure.
And how much is it would be a very big number, 30-35 crores?
No, it can't be so big number. It's around 16 crore.
Okay, because last quarter you had generated 21 crore other income in December quarter.
So last quarter there was a gain on forex fluctuation.
Okay.
So because of that the figure is 21 crore, but this quarter it is a loss of around 16 crore.
Yeah. And sir, regarding this INMET subsidy that we have, when is the ruling expected, final ruling in this?
The final hearings are in the month of August. So that we will come to know after that.
And our total claim is how much in that case?
No, total claim, because there are counter claims also. Okay. So it will be decided by arbitration.
Okay. Our investment is around 50.
Our investment is around $10 million there.
$10 million?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Saket Kapoor from Kapoor & Co. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. Sir, as told in the earlier commentary, for this quarter, we are contemplating a production of 49,000 tons, sir?
Yes.
And so what was the corresponding figure for the first quarter of FY18, sir, on a comparative basis?
First quarter of FY18?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it was around 52,000 tons.
52,000 tons.
Yeah.
And the realizations there, sir, at that time? I just wanted to have a comparative outlook of
that how time realization was 85,000 rupees a ton.
85,000 rupees a ton?
Yes.
So just coming back to the part of the earlier commentary where you mentioned that we were advised about the volatility. Sir, even in the last call, we were not cautioned to the extent that the profit numbers would be decimated to these numbers. I mean, this was in fact a shock to the investor community, the numbers for the fourth quarter. So just wanted to understand, sir, how should investors take the story going forward from this year onward? Because we have been stuck...
I won't agree with that, because in the last con call also we had indicated that prices have gone down, benchmark has gone down by so much. So always the contract price, our contract price moves along with the benchmark. So that was the guidance given in the last quarter also, last con call also, that the fourth quarter is going to be bad.
Because after we lower anyway, sir, just wanted to understand, has the volatility played out its part for the March, up to March, or is this more pain in the system that we are going to witness going forward as our costs have gone up and the prices are not remunerative to compensate the increase in cost?
Deepak?
Look, you see, price, as already we have mentioned, we don't have any control over price. We are not the price setter, rather price follower. So naturally, we can't talk about what the price will be or can forecast. But we are seeing more or less it will be steady in the range of 85 to 90. That's what we are considering. And where, although the costs have gone up, that is going to remain. Because of Indian specific, mostly the cost increase apart from the coke, it's on the coal and the ED, which is going to remain. So really we can't do anything except the EBITDA and what you are talking about, that will go down. Unless the price moves drastically here and upward, you cannot maintain, basically you cannot do anything other than that.
Because for this quarter, so we are going to face the production loss also, and going forward for the 90 days, the one of the units will not be producing around 12,000 tons. So maybe we have hit a rough patch for at least 2 quarters down the line before things getting stable.
So, but we know we had also planning for certain other things. Other things, relining and other things. So in the year, overall we are losing 16, as I have already mentioned, 16,000 because of this thing. But other than that, it's more or less, I think we'll be in that line. 223 is quite achievable.
Just to add here, Saket, if you see quarter on quarter, then this kind of volatility is going to be there in this industry. So you need to see a yearly figure. So if you see the yearly figure, I can give you the numbers. The year on year, the realizations are more or less same.
Same, 75,000.
Last year, it was 75,000 rupees, and this year also it is 70,000 rupees. So not much difference.
Yes, sir.
But if you see quarter on quarter, then that is beyond our control. We can't help it.
Right, sir. So for this quarter as a whole, concluding, so for June quarter also, we are slightly above than what was the last quarter. That is what.
Yeah, June quarter again the benchmark has moved up by 20 cents. So the contract price would also move up by that by at least that level.
So
we can't help it. Quarter on quarter, if you see quarter on quarter, we can't help it. You need to have at least 1 year view.
The commodity market and nobody can.
Yeah, commodity market is like that. So every industry, every commodity company is going to face this kind of situation. It's not only specific.
Just the conclusion was that these are the 3,000 tons which we are losing on account of the whatever the disruption in the first quarter versus the first quarter. Will the realization compensate for the increase in cost, or it will be a more or less flat quarter compared to quarter one versus quarter one?
I think versus quarter one it will be flat because quarter one production was around 52,000, whereas this quarter it is going to be 49,000.
Yes, sir.
So realization front, I don't know. It's very difficult to give the number at the moment. So we'll come to know at the end of the quarter only.
Okay. Right, sir.
Right? Okay. Right.
Yes.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Falguni Datta from Jet Age Securities. Please go ahead.
Yes, so what was the ferrochrome production for the quarter and what will be for the full year FY19?
Deepak?
Yeah, for this quarter we are expecting 49,000 and for the full year we are toning it down to 223,000 as against our earlier budget of 239,000.
Yeah, sorry sir, I meant chrome ore.
Chrome ore.
Yeah.
Sanjeev can answer.
Sanjeev?
In fact, last year we did about 5,50,000, which is on record, and we hope to produce 5,94,000 in the FY19.
And what was it in Q4?
Q4 numbers was for Sukinda put together 1,79,000.
Fine, thank you, sir. That's all from my side.
Right, thank you.
Thank you. The next question is a follow-up from the line of Sanjay Kumar from Vision Investment. Please go ahead.
Thanks for the time.
Yes. Sorry to interrupt. Mr. Sanjay Kumar, you're sounding very distant.
Okay. Thanks for the question. I could not get the management mentioned somebody has passed away.
Yes.
I think who has passed away?
Chairman Emeritus has passed away.
Okay.
So I think we all have to go there now.
Yeah, condolences.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you. We take the next question from the line of Chintan Mehta from Sunidhi Securities. Please go ahead.
Hello. So the last question for my side, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, we have been hearing that, at the Chinese ports, there is a huge inventory built up on the chrome side. So then they have been restricting imports from the South African side, actually, right? So when do you see the event of restocking to start again? Even eventually from here on, sir?
Actually, after this reaching 3 million in Chinese ports altogether,
right.
It's after 6 years, in fact.
Okay.
So going down will also take little more time.
Okay.
So nothing can be told, but I think it will immediately. If the stainless steel aspect is good, it will be consumed. It all depends on how stainless steel is going to do during next 2-3 months. Accordingly, it will be the thing.
Sir, but even when we see stainless steel, there are certain kind of production cuts going on. So the overall scenario, where do you see the next leg of demand coming off of ferrochrome? When you expect that stainless steel mills which have been shut down will restart again? That's what, or the capacity which has been laid up more will actually come up?
No, I don't think, particularly in China, old mills will come up, but new capacities are coming up in Indonesia and all. You might have heard
right.
has started. Those are most cost-effective and all. So, effectively, the balance will be maintained by cutting down in Chinese unproductive ones, with effective, more efficient other places like Indonesia. That will, but I don't think it will be going up, coming up, prices are not going to go that way, that old mills again will come up and create that imbalance.
Okay. So you see the next leg of demand for stainless steel coming up from Indonesia rather than China. That's what you're trying to...
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Thanks from my side. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, I think we need to disconnect now because of this agreement. We all have to go.
Okay.
So if you have any further questions, you can mail it to me. We'll try to answer the questions over email.